Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It is Friday, December 1st, 2023. Here's what's happening today in America. It's the white lung pup, highest ever foreign-born. Rand Paul saves a life, the Trump counter to the debate, and the first mission to the moon in over 50 years. It's all coming up. Then Bill's going to be here with your message of the day. But first, doctors in Ohio and Massachusetts are saying there's been a spike in child pneumonia cases. 142 cases in Cincinnati. Specifically, it's being called the white lung. This technically somehow meets the Ohio Department of Health's definition of an outbreak. Ever since COVID, of course, everyone's all jittery about everything, but neither of these outbreaks are from a novel pathogen, and not all of the pneumonia cases are being caused by the same infection. It's just winter, kids get sick. But we see China with people dressed in hazmat suits spraying down the city streets with chemicals like March 2020, and we think we got to do again what China did. A doctor at Johns Hopkins said, I would caution against extrapolating one Ohio county to a country of 330 million people. The foreign-born population in America hits 49.5 million people, the largest ever in American history. This has increased by 4.5 million since Joe Biden took office. The Biden administration has added more immigrants to the nation's population than the annual number of U.S. births in under 3 years. So 1 year of birth, 2.5 years of foreign-born growth. Rand Paul saved a life. His fellow Senator Joni Ernst from Ohio started choking at a closed-door lunch. Every Senate luncheon is hosted by a different senator, and they showcase the local delicacies from that state. And this lunch was hosted by Iowa. Steak provided by the Iowa Cattlemen's Association, and the host, Joni Ernst, was choking. So Rand Paul did the Heimlich. She later wrote on Twitter, I can't help but choke on the woke policies that Dems are forcing down our throats. Thanks, Dr. Rand Paul. There's a Republican debate again next week for some reason. During the first debate, Donald Trump did an interview with Tucker Carlson. The second debate, he went to a car part factory in Michigan. The third debate, he held a rally in a Miami suburb nearby. And this fourth debate, he will be hosting a closed-door fundraiser in Florida. The remaining candidates are Chris Christie, Vivek, Nikki Haley, and Ron DeSantis. More than 50 years since we last landed on the moon, the U.S. will again try to land on it January 25th. This time a private company at first, Astrobotic. They'll be dropping off equipment for the NASA's Artemis manned missions, which are scheduled for December 2025. I'm Mike Slater. The great Bill O'Reilly has your message of the day next.
If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or have no warranty at all, listen up. Car Shield has a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that's now available to the public. Save on out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. So please call Car Shield now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. 800-925-7584 for a free quote. This protection plan is at an all-time low in price. Drivers who activate the vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. So please call for your free quote, 800-925-7584, 800-925-7584. Hey, what do you have to lose? 800-925-7584. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. On this Friday, the television debate between Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida and California's Governor Gavin Newsom is interesting. Put together by Sean Hannity, the discussion pits a successful state, Florida, against a troubled state, California. Some stats courtesy of the Wall Street Journal. Jobs in the Golden State have decreased by 85,000 since 2019. In Florida, jobs have increased by more than 1 million. Obviously, a huge improvement over California. Between 2019 and 22, the Sunshine State gained more than 1 million residents. California lost almost 750,000. Taxes per resident are twice as high in California as they are in Florida. And you want to buy some gasoline, you'll pay $1.20 more a gallon in the Golden State than you will in the Sunshine State. So economically, Florida, good. California, not so much. Governor Newsom is glib, will spin the data. DeSantis not as verbally agile, but articulating his state success should not be that difficult. Doesn't really matter because fair-minded Americans know the truth. Progressive policies hurt regular folks, no question. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. Now let's go to the mail. Sylvia Dunleavy, Fort Worth, Texas. Why is everyone blaming Biden for the failures of our government? He isn't running the show. He's incapable of sane thought. Obama and his cohorts are to blame. Now, I know that's big on the right-wing websites, that Obama is running a shadow government. He's not. Not to say he doesn't have input. He does, particularly with Biden's staff. Biden and Obama were never buddies, okay? And certainly Jill and Michelle are not. But Obama talks to some of Biden's people, but he's not running the government. Believe me, Obama's not that stupid. Obama would never have done the open border. Obama deported a lot of migrants. Lisa Mahoney, Lexington, Kentucky. I originally agree with you on the worst president ever, James Buchanan. But now I think Biden is the worst because he's hurt more people and blood on his hands. Not even close. With all due respect, Lisa, with all due respect, the Civil War could have been averted. All right, we're talking millions of casualties here. All right, Biden is the second worst. He doesn't come close to Buchanan. Nobody does. And I'm going to write something about Buchanan, by the way. That's coming. Eva Schweswick, Princeton, New Jersey. Mr. O, why does the USA have to spend so much money on immigrants? Back in the early 80s, when I came to America, the immigrants had to rely on family, friends, churches, because the Biden administration has set up another welfare system to anybody who can sneak in here or get in here with asylum. If Trump wouldn't have done that, it's purely an administration. That's why they're doing it. And they can do it because they use money from Homeland Security and from other agencies, money that's already been allotted, to give to the migrants. It's beyond belief. In a moment, something you might not know. If you or your business is falling behind filing your tax returns, or if you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The Biden administration just unveiled an $80 billion plan to modernize the IRS and reduce the unpaid tax debt. Are you tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments? You do not have to face the IRS alone. Hire Anthem Tax Services. They can help you settle your delinquent tax problems and all collections, and may even be able to reduce your back taxes significantly. If Anthem Tax Service cannot reduce your current monthly payment with the IRS or state, or they don't put you in a better position, you might qualify for the 100% money back guarantee. Please call Anthem Tax Services 800-810-9193, 800-810-9193, 800-810-9193. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 59 years ago today, the nation's most powerful civil rights leader met with the head of the FBI. The 60-minute exchange was meant to heal a public rift that began 3 years earlier. Here's the story of Martin Luther King Jr. and J. Edgar Hoover. The FBI vendetta against King began in the early 1960s. Attorney General Robert Kennedy approved wiretaps over allegations Reverend King was subverting the Constitution, inciting racial violence, and promoting communism. The FBI even sent a threatening letter to King with a separate one to his wife containing records of tape recordings of the preacher having an extramarital affair. How dirty is that? Well, the note ended with a suggestion that King commit suicide to avoid a further embarrassment. The activists then demanded a sit-down with the Bureau. Said J. Edgar Hoover at the time, quote, "At first I felt I shouldn't see him, then I thought he might become a martyr if I didn't." Under pressure from President Lyndon Johnson, Hoover did agree to the meeting. On December 1st, 1964, the two met in Washington. Hoover allowed Martin Luther King to speak for a few minutes, then filibustered for the rest of the hour. He ranted about Marxism, the Soviet Union, and defended the lack of minority employees at the Department of Justice. Hoover told King he understood the plight of African Americans because his chauffeur was black. The two finally agreed that the FBI played an important role in vanquishing the Ku Klux Klan from Alabama and Mississippi. And here's something else you might not know. The FBI concluded its investigation into Martin Luther King Jr. 1 week after he was assassinated. The agency's final report, quote, "At no time did we find any evidence that Dr. King was a communist," unquote. Back after this. Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.